So real simply, where to take the crouch, okay? So if you're wicket keeping to a right-handed batsman, just get your left foot in line with the off stump there, okay? And that's going to give you the right reference point there. You can see with the feet, they'll be pointing back to the bowler, all right? Now for a left-handed batsman, the anchor foot here would be the right foot and in line with the off stump, okay? So that's in regards to the alignment there to the bowler. Now we're going to look at the distance. So what I like to do is to get my wicket keepers to simply put their outside hand and thumb resting on the off stump like so. Okay, that normally gives you the perfect amount of distance from the stump. So you'll see if I'm too close, my arm will be cramped. If I'm too far away, I won't even reach the stump. So it's pretty simple stuff there in regards to getting your distance right and getting your alignment right. We often refer to our inside foot being the anchor foot. And that acts nicely there for when you have to take a wider catch, okay? You use that there as that point of reference to be able to lead you back to the stumps to take the bails off. So if this moves, of course, you're going to be further away from the stumps. You won't really know where you are, and it will be difficult to get back for that quick stumping chance. So really important there, just be aware of, okay? Doing a lot of practice to make sure that if you don't have to move your feet to take that real wide catch, you still know exactly where you are in relation to the stumps by having that anchor foot in the right place in line with the off stump. If it's a right-handed batter, for a left-handed batter, all right, it's your right foot, inside foot to be the anchor foot. All right, there we are. So we'll anchor, just taking that slightly wider catch, you can get back to the bails and take the stumping. So an effective crouch or posture position as it's otherwise known, I place big emphasis on the head being forward of the toes. So I'll show you from side on. All right, so if my head is advanced of my toes, I'm going to get the weight nicely on the balls of my feet, okay? I'm going to look to just get my fingers on the ground there, and that will set a nice 90-degree angle there. You'll see my thighs are parallel with the ground, okay? And that there will just assist me, okay, to be in a nice, comfortable position where I can move explosively and very efficiently, all right? So a few of the key points here, if the weight is on the heels, you'll see the weight is sitting back, and what that's going to do is I'm going to struggle to move efficiently, but it will also encourage me to lift up very early, okay? So I'm going to come up on the ball too early, and it's also going to create an inability to have good length in my catch. So I'm going to be catching the ball with, well, what we describe as hard hands. One more tip for you is just when you execute your crouch, okay, just be sure to make sure that the knees are not too far forward of the toes. I see this, a lot of wicket keepers do this. So with the knees being well forward of the toes, they're resting the back of the hands on the ground like so, okay? And that's going to cause all sorts of problems, and you're going to be off balance. And again, the weight is just going to be restricted to be able to move really efficiently. So again, just quickly, make sure that the knees are just ever so slightly forward of the toes. For those players that are very strong with their glutes, quads and hamstrings, okay, you'll see that they can actually get their knees just above their toes, all right, and they'll be set in a very strong, comfortable position like so. One other tip is the angle of the feet. Make sure that the feet are pointing back towards the bowler. Some keepers actually like to point their feet ever so slightly in, okay, just to help them be really explosive. But again, a common fault is you'll see wicket keepers go into this position and the feet are splayed, and that's a very weak and poor position. Be sure to keep your hands under your eyes and present a nice wide surface or target area with your gloves. A lot of keepers there, you'll see, just close the hands instinctively, all right. This actually works for some people. It's a comfort and momentum thing, but the basics are just present the fingers down, touching on the ground, and a nice wide target area there with the hands. In regards to how wide the feet should be, I recommend they should be shoulder width apart, but some wicket keepers will have the feet slightly wider or narrower, but it's really important that the trial and error assists the player in working out how well they move, how much ground they can cover, and most importantly, how balanced they are at the point of catching the ball. So it's really important to work out what works best for the individual, but I do recommend a good starting point would be to have the feet shoulder width apart. It's really important to only come up with the rise of the ball after the ball is pitched. A lot of keepers make the mistake of coming up too early before the ball has pitched. Another important point also when coming up, I'll show you from side on, is to make sure that when that ball does pitch and you start coming up with the rise of the ball, is to come up bum first, because that will assist in keeping the gloves low to the ground. Alright, if you come straight up, you'll see you lift up too soon, too early. So remember, wait for the ball to pitch and then only come up with the rise of the ball.